Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. As we'll start the day with the 15-9 Las Vegas Athletics facing the 17-18 St. Louis Cardinals, who are going to bring Logan Gilbert onto the mound, who signed a big 6-year, $96 million contract in the offseason to be a part of this squad away from our division rival in the Mariners. And we're going to jump right into this one. Bryson Stott leads off, the former Philadelphia Philly, who signed a big 4-year deal of his own this offseason. And he starts the day looking at strike three. Gilbert paints the corner for the first out of the ball game. Robbie Martin now up next. We'll dribble this one over to second base, where Nico Hoerner will record the out. We'll take a look at how this Athletics lineup will set today. Up next, we'll see Clark Elliott getting a chance in the 3-hole thanks to his hot start to the season. Kevin Alcantara at center and fourth. Ryan Noda, Zach Geloff, Jacob Wilson, Tyler Soderstrom, Elliot Ramos round out the 9. And this Las Vegas team struggling to hit the ball for a lot of power, last in the American League in slugging. Here's Clark Elliott up next hitting .337 as he will swing on a pitch low, but it gets away from Caro. And Elliott will beat out the throw, so it'll be a strikeout, but a base runner regardless. So 2 down now for Kevin Alcantara, the former Cub, who has a lot of experience here in Busch Stadium with his time in Chicago. And he swings at a splitter low for strike 3, as Gilbert actually struck out 4 batters in that inning. Robbie Francisco up next here for the Athletics getting the start. His first start of the season. He hasn't been consistent since his rookie season. He'll start with the 2019 NL MVP Cody Bellinger, who hits this one well to left, and Ramos will make the play. We'll take a look at how the Cardinals will line up today. Will Benson up next and right, Nico Hoerner at second base, Nolan Gorman the DH, Ryan McMahon out in third, Kyle Manzardo at first, Alec Burleson in left, Jose Miranda at shortstop, and then Jefferson Caro behind the plate. There's a Cardinals team that won 97 games last year, trying to get back to the postseason, but hasn't started the year off strong. As here's Will Benson with 1 down. He gets a fastball down the middle, hits it well to center, but it will be caught on that arch turf out there. I love that design. 2 down now for Nico Hoerner, the 3-time All-Star who signed the big 5-year deal last offseason from the Cubs. He's been great for the Cardinals. But he'll pop this one out to Elliott, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Francisco. Good start. Top 2 now, Ryan Noda leads off for the A's, the former 2025 Gold Glove Award winner, who hits a nice curveball into center field. And that'll be a leadoff single for the Athletics to get their first hit of the afternoon. So he's on first base for our All-Star last year. Jacob Wilson hitting .276 with the team leading 6 home runs to this point in the year. First pitch to him, and he will golf this one into right field. Will it stay in the field of play? It looks like it will, and that'll be the first out of the top of the second. Actually, the second out, excuse me. Tyler Soderstrom now up next, our former 2-time All-Star, who has just had a hard time getting back to that form. Swings low at a splitter, and Gilbert's through it to a scoreless. Bottom 2 now, Nolan Gorman leads off, first in the Cardinals lineup in RBIs, 24 on the season. He will lead off here, 2-2 pitch to the designated hitter, and he swings through a running fastball. Good pitch by Francisco. That'll bring up Ryan McMahon, a guy we've known well as he's spent the past couple of years with the Astros. Now finds himself here in St. Louis, and he swings through a fastball as well. And that's 2 straight Ks for Francisco here in the second. That'll bring up Alec Burleson after a double from Manzardo, and Burleson will single into right, and Manzardo will look to score, and he will. So it's funny how things change. 2 batters ago, Francisco was looking great. Now he's down 1-0. That'll bring up the former National Jose Miranda, only hitting a .067 on the season. Trying to keep the inning alive with a 1-2, and he can't as he swings through the curveball. The Cardinals do get 1 in the second. Will stay with their lineup in the bottom of the third. Here's Jefferson Caro to round out the 9, and he swings through a fastball away. So Francisco with his 4th K sends us back to the top of the lineup, and the 3-time All-Star Cody Bellinger. A 1 pitch to him, and he hits this one well into center field. And going back is going to be Alcantara. He'll have enough space, but allowed out number 2. Will Benson now up next. First pitch to him, and it's a curveball down the middle, and he takes it down the first base line in fair. Benson with the speed will try to leg out a double, and he will. Just slides in ahead of the tag. So a 2-out double here for the Cardinals puts him in business for Nico Hoerner. And Hoerner will deliver. Single up the middle. And that will score the run. St. Louis now leads 2-0. Francisco having a hard time getting through this inning. Nolan Gorman up next down the third base line and fair. Ramos can't get to it as it rolls all the way to the wall. And Horner on first will round third. And he will score. It's now 3-0 Cardinals. Just a minute ago it seemed like Francisco was going to get through the third. Now he's given up 3 earned already as McMahon up next. And he's not done. Singles into center field. This one will drop. It's now going to be 4-0 Cardinals as all of a sudden they get 3 here in the third inning. And we get out Manzardo. 2-2 pitch to the first baseman, and he will. But all of a sudden the Cardinals lead 4-0. As we'll go top 4, Clark Elliott leading off for the Athletics with a splitter down the middle. And he will single into right field. Second hit of the day for the Athletics. Trying to answer back. Alcantara now with a 3-1 draws a walk. And just like that, the A's at least had the first 2 on. As that'll bring up Ryan Noda, responsible for the only other hit today, a single back in the second. 1-2 pitch here, and he gets jammed on a slider, but still gets it into the outfield grass. Athletics are going to send the runner, and Elliott will indeed score. So at least Las Vegas is on the board off the RBI single from Noda. Still nobody down. Zach Geloff up next. It's actually going to be a hit and run, but Geloff checks the swing. If it's a hit and run call, you have to swing. You cannot check swing. So Alcantara is a dead duck at third base, and then Geloff will rip this into left, where it will be caught. And all of a sudden, there's now 2 down with a runner on second base for the A's. Inning seems to be stalling out unless Wilson can do something about it. This is an 0-2 pitch to him, and he will look at a curveball right down the middle. Not sure what he's looking at. Not a good effort at the plate that half inning. As we go bottom 5 now with 2 down. And Nico Horner up at the plate, who hits this one well to center. And it will hit off of the base of the wall, and Horner's having himself a good day. That's a 2-out double for the St. Louis second baseman. See what Gorman can do now with the runner in scoring position. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI double to his name as Francisco looks to try to get another 0 on the board, and he will not. Gorman hits it into right field. That'll send Horner home. Elliott will come up firing, but the throw will be offline. It's now 5-1 Cardinals as they get that run right back. Still trying to get through the inning. McMahon up next. He hits this one well to right. Going back is Elliott. He will not get to it, and that will drop, and that will be another run for St. Louis. It's now 6-1 for the Redbirds. Just trying to get Francisco through this inning, but the inconsistency has just been a problem. Manzardo now will rip this into left. 96 off the bat. Ramos can't make the play, and then we'll add on another one. 7-1 Cardinals. Francisco struggling in his first start of the season. He's going to get one more batter. Alec Burleson up next, and he'll get him to pop up. But Francisco will go 5 innings, 7 earned, as he just continues to not be consistent after a pretty solid rookie campaign back in 2025. Top 6 now with 2 down as Alcantara at the plate will draw a walk as the A's look to try to do something to chip into this 6-run deficit. Ryan Noda now up next, who's been the best offensive player today. 0-2 pitch from Gilbert. He hangs him a curveball, and Noda will hit it over the head of the shortstop Miranda, and this will actually roll all the way to the wall, so that will score a run as Noda adds another RBI to his name. He's got 3 of 4 hits today as it's now 7-2. Trying to keep the inning alive is Zach Geloff with an 0-2, but he swings through the splitter, and that will end the 6th. We'll go into the bottom of the 6th where a former Cardinal, A.J. Puck, will step to the mound, acquired at the deadline last year from St. Louis, is stuck around in Vegas. He starts off with Miranda in the bottom of the lineup, but he walks him. Okay, at least you got Caro up next, but you walk him as well. You have the 2 worst hitters on the team up to begin, and Puck walks both of them. Well, now you got the top of the lineup and 2 on, but Bellinger will ground this to Stott, and that will be a 4-6-3 double play, and that is what we needed. So now we just got to get one more out in the form of Will Benson, who was 1 for 3 on the day, doubled and scored a run in his last at-bat. Trying to strand the runner on third base. 2-2 pitch to Benson. It's a chopper to Martin, and this should do it. He fields it, but he airmails the throw, and that's going to be an E6 and another run. 8-2 Cardinals off the air by Martin as the bad play just continues on defense as well. And that brings up Nico Horner, who's been great today. And we're going to pull Puck. Garrett Whitlock in, the former Blue Jay, trying to get the final out here. Got a 0-2 pitch against Horner, and he gets him to chop to third. Can Wilson make the play? He will, but the Cardinals do add 1 thanks to the E6. Matt Strom now in relief for St. Louis as Gilbert's day is done after 6 innings at 2 earned run ball. We'll turn it over to the lefty. We'll start with a righty and Jacob Wilson. Full count pitch, and Wilson will look at strike 3. Strom perfectly paints the corner. That's a good pitch. One down now for Soderstrom, and he will look at strike 3 as well. Sinker freezes him low. It's back-to-back looking Ks for the A's. Rama's not trying to strike out. A 3-1 will draw a walk, so he'll at least take first base. And that'll bring up Bryson Stott, 0 for 3 on the day for the former 2-time Gold Glover with Philadelphia. 1-2 pitch. Strom deals, and he swings through the high fastball, and nothing in the 7th. We'll go into the bottom of the 7th now. 2 on, 2 out for Jose Miranda, and he will rip this one into left. Even the 067 hitter getting something done. A 2 RBI double for the Cardinals. They now lead 10-2. And I think that's all she really wrote. No reason to really stick with this one. The Cardinals will win it by that exact same score. And a pretty embarrassing effort for the Athletics. The pitching was atrocious. The hitting was only responsible for 4 hits. Even on defense, we had an error that cost us a run. Just an overall bad game here for the Athletics, who just did not show up in this one. 10 runs, 14 hits for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the A's. Gilbert the win, Francisco the loss, and Strom actually gets a save because he went 3 innings in relief. Gilbert also gets player of the game, struck out 10 in those 6 innings, and again, just a not good game here for the Athletics. They're going to try to bounce back in Game 2, and they can't. They lose 2-1. Bieber goes 7 strong, only 2 are earned, but he gets the loss because there's no run support. We had 10 hits, but 8 of them were singles. In the Tuesday game of the week, the Dodgers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-3 as the Dodgers try to keep pace with the NL pennant winners from last year, as these two teams continue just to trade punches any single time they face off. Game 3, we lose 10-2 as well, so we get swept in pretty convincing fashion. Gore gave up 8 earned in 3 2/3. Why can we never find a consistent pitching staff? We're going to have to try to fix that as we return home now 15-22 against a 17-21 Minnesota Twins team who for the past half-decade has been the standard of the American League. 3 straight years they have had the best record in the American League. They've won 5 straight AL Centrals. Obviously, this is not the same Twins squad, though. Sitting at 17-21, they had a lot of losses in free agency this past all season, and they're entering a new phase. We'll see what Jared Jones can do on the mound. He's had a couple of poor starts that shot his ERA up to 5.25 now on the season. He'll begin the day against the former White Sox Cole Young, who's at DH today, and the former number 21 overall pick will single up the middle to begin the day. Not a good start for Jones. That'll bring up Carlos Correa, the 2015 AL Rookie of the Year, will grace the batter's box, having a resurgence, hitting over 300, as Young looks to steal second, and he will. A high throw from Soderstrom allows him to swipe the bag, his second on the season. Later in the at-bat 0-2, Correa rips this one to center, as it will be caught by Alcantara, but Young will try to take third, and he will. So just like that, runner 90 feet away from home to begin the ball game. We'll take a look now the Twins lineup today, obviously a different lineup than we're used to seeing thanks to the losses. Royce Lewis, though, at third base, who had a career year last year. Matt Wallner in right, Zach Bean in left, Jake Rogers behind the plate, Walter Jenkins in center, Jeter Downs in second base, and Jair Camargo out there in first. Royce Lewis, here he is, the 2-time All-Star and Silver Slugger from last year, will grace the batter's box, and he will walk on 4 pitches. The A's want nothing to do with him. The only problem is he's got Matt Wallner behind him. He's having a great season for Minnesota, his best season overall. He leads the Twins actually in OPS, and he will deliver on his at-bat. Singles into left, and the Twins now lead 1-0. Still in the first inning, only 1 down. Zach Bean now trying to keep it going with a 2-2, and he cannot. He strikes out on the high fastball. It's now 2 down for Jake Rogers, the catcher, hitting .216 on the season, trying to keep the inning alive. Got a 1-0 pitch here, and he rips this into left, and it will hit off of the wall. Luckily, it stays in the park, but it's going to be a 2-run double for Jake Rogers, and the Twins now lead 3-0 as our pitching inconsistencies continue. Walt Jenkins up next will strike out. That'll end the first, but now we'll send it to the bottom of the first inning where the former Diamondback Eduardo Rodriguez will grace the mound as the Twins try to replace a lot of pitchers they lost in the offseason. They lost Johan Duran, Griffin Jacks, Pablo Lopez, Bailey Ober, and Joe Ryan to free agency. Yikes. Stott will lead off like usual for the Athletics as he will step to the mound. And 2-2 pitch from Rodriguez will start the day with the strikeout as he gets caught on the slider down and away. That'll bring up Clark Elliott, hitting second today, now 7th in the American League with a .327 average. He'll continue to hit high in the order if he hits like this, as he gets jammed on a sinker, though, and that one will be caught in left for out number 2. And here's how the Athletics will line up today. We'll see Soderstrom up next, only hitting .194 in his past 10 games, followed by Daniel Susac getting the start against the lefty at DH. Alcantara out in the center, Jacob Wilson the third baseman, Robbie Martin at short, Ramos in left, and then Noda out there at first base, last against the lefty. Here's Soderstrom as we begin the lineup with 3 straight lefties against a lefty pitcher. It's a very interesting call by manager Coughlin, but Soderstrom doesn't care as he perfectly singles one into center. That'll bring up Daniel Susac, hitting .333 on the season. If he continues to swing like this, he'll get even more chances, but he'll swing and miss at a strike 3, so that'll end the first. As we'll go top 2 now, the former Oriole Jeter Downs steps up, and he swings through a slider up and away. There's a strikeout for Jones, his third already of the day. We'll bring up the 9-hole hitter Jair Camargo to round out the lineup, hitting .135 on the season. He faces a 2-2, and he will get jammed, but lift it pretty well into left field, where it will be caught. Now 2 down now for the top of the lineup. Cole Young back up, singled to begin the game as he grounds it to second, but stopped with a great play. There's that elite level defense. Keeps it 3-0. We're going to go all the way into the bottom of the 6th now as both pitchers really settling in before Ryan Noda singles up the middle as the A's will add a base runner to their tally. Bryson Stott up next now with a 1-0 pitch. Gets a fastball he likes, turns on it into right center. This one's got some carry, and it will get over the wall. A 2-run shot for Bryson Stott, and just like that, it's now a 1-run game. His 4th home run of the season, and, well, that'll help as we get right back into this one here in the 6th inning. We'll go into the top of the 7th now. Jones, actually, after that first inning, didn't allow another base runner. Garrett Whitlock will now grace the mound as he's had a pretty good season overall. He'll start with Jake Rogers with an 0-2 pitch, and he'll ground this out to Noda to begin the 7th inning. And next up will be Walter Jenkins, who gets a hold of a changeup, but it flares out to right, and the Twins continue to be ice cold at the plate. Jeter Downs looking to change it with a 1-2, and he hits this one into right. It's got some carry. Elliott will go back to the wall, and this one will go over the fence. A solo home run for Jeter Downs, the first base hit for the Twins since the first inning. Is a home run, his first in the season, and Garrett Whitlock, despite a pretty good ERA, has actually had a couple of struggle weeks. And the Twins get one back. It's now 4-2. Jair Camargo will then look at strike 3, but the damage has been done. Now a 2-run lead as we go bottom 7. Rodriguez still on the mounds, but Kevin Alcantara will start off with a nice hit into right field for a single. And that will do it for Eduardo Rodriguez. He will be pulled right after this batter. They'll bring in the former Oriole Joe Jimenez, another guy signed in the offseason to try to fix the mass exodus of pitchers in the offseason. He's been pretty good with a 1.89 ERA. First batter he faces will be Jacob Wilson, the all-star from last year with a 2-1. He gets a high fastball, hits it into center field. This one's also got some carry, and it will clear the fence. A 2-run shot for Jacob Wilson, and just like that, we're tied at 4. The Athletics complete the comeback off the 7th home run of the season for Wilson. That is a team-high 422 feet for center field, and we're back to square one. Good fight here for the A's. Still nobody down here in the 7th. As Robbie Martin up next wants to get a hit of his own into center field. This one will drop, and the A's might not be done. In the 8th hole today, that'll bring up the next batter in Elliot Ramos. 2-0 pitch, and he swings at a pitch. He probably should have let it go. Jams him on the hands, and this one will be caught by Camargo. Good hustle, as that will be the first out of the frame. Noda now up next with a 1-2, swings at a pitch low. He strikes out, but Martin does steal second. So now a runner in scoring position with the lefty Stott up, and the Twins will bring in the lefty David Peterson, who spent last year with the Mets after a year and a half with the Braves. Lefty-lefty matchup against Bryson Stott, who homered in his last at-bat. Gets another good pitch here. He grounds it out to end the inning, but we're all tied up at 4 apiece. We'll go into the 8th now, where Mason Miller will step to the mound for the Athletics. Been really good in relief thus far this season. He'll start his afternoon with the top of the lineup. 2-2 to Cole Young, and he will hit this one well into center, but it's going to be right at Alcantara, and that'll be out number 1. Correa now up next, hitless on the day like so many Twins as he gets jammed. Actually will fly out to right, and that's a quick 2 down. Can Miller get through the inning? 1-2-3. He's got Lewis up next. 3-0 pitch here, and he will walk. That's the third walk of the day for Lewis. A's have made it clear they want nothing to do with them. They'd rather attack Wallner, who on the first pitch, Lewis actually tries to swipe second, and he gets gunned down. Not a good throw by Soderstrom, but a great tag by Martin. And we'll go bottom 9 now, still tied at 4. Peterson's still on the mound. And Alcantara will walk to begin the at-bat. So the game-winning run now at first base for Jacob Wilson, who homered in his last at-bat. 1-2 pitch here. He gets a fastball low and hits it into right. And this could be trouble. It rolls all the way to the wall. Alcantara will stop at third. Nobody down, no reason to send him, but now the winning run is now 90 feet away. Robbie Martin now up next, the infield in, but he hits this one into the outfield. Veen will make the grab, but Alcantara will tag. The throw is coming in, and it will not be in time, and the Athletics will walk it off with a final score of 5-4, completing a comeback where they were down 3-0 and win this ball game. A great win for the A's. Martin gets the game-winning sacrifice fly. What a game for the Athletics, who I thought at the very beginning, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. But we really settled in. The Twins only had one hit since that first inning. The offense clutched up towards the end of the game, and were able to take game one of a pivotal 4-game set here against the Minnesota Twins, a chance to really turn our season around. So after that good win, we go into game 2 and we lose 9-4. Of course we do. We get shellacked on the pitching front. Another bad start from Waldichuk, and another not-so-good performance by Whitlock. He gave up 3 earned and only got 1 out. Your Friday games of the night is the Braves-Yankees rematch from the Year 1 World Series, where New York wins it with a walk-off here in the 10th. I would not be surprised if this was the World Series again this year, even though the Braves are only 21-16. Your late-night Friday game is in San Francisco, where the Giants blanked the Padres, who have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. Only 2 hits for San Diego, while the Giants had 2 home runs from Hammer Longballo. Game 3 on Saturday, we win 6-5 in 14 innings. Kevin Alcantara with the game-winning hit this time. That's his 3rd game-winning hit of the season already. And we had good pitching performances from both Robbie Francisco and Garrett Whitlock. On Saturday games, Texas beat Seattle 3-0 and a couple of average AL West teams, as the Rangers sit underneath 500 to begin the year. And then Baseball Night in America on Saturday, the Guardians get beat at home by the Tigers 8-4. So the defending World Series champions go down to a struggling Tiger squad in the AL Central. We get a trade after this between a couple of prospects. The Cardinals get Blaze Jordan from the Red Sox for Mike Antico and Samuel De La Rosa. While we go to Game 4 of this set, and we lose 5-4 with 6 of the 9 runs coming in the 9th inning. So we split the 4-game set against Minnesota, as Diaz went deep in this one. And now we gear up to stay at home against the Chicago Cubs before heading on the road to see the Astros for the first time this season, as we have not had a lot of divisional games to begin the year other than the Angels, and that will change in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.